Good evening. No, this isn't my Jeep, but this is the work I'm currently doing. The shocks are the last thing, or the struts, I guess they're called, are the last thing to replace on the front suspension on my '05 Infiniti G35. Out of all the vehicles I've owned, this has actually been a fairly easy car to work on. The parts have been reasonably priced, especially on Rock Auto, but even at AutoZone, I've been able to get parts at a reasonable price, and availability has been pretty high. Been able to get parts quickly. So, as far as a DIY car, I've actually very much enjoyed my '05 Infiniti G35. I don't know about newer ones if they'd be quite as friendly to a home mechanic, but this one definitely has been. Just in summary, I've replaced the compression arm, the lower control arm here, the sway bar link, sorry it's not focusing, the sway bar bushings, the upper control arm, the ball joints down here have been replaced, and now I'm doing the shock. Now the shock is, because I know people ask me this, it's a SenSen, I believe is the brand. Yeah, SenSen, there's the box. And I got these from AutoZone, and I'm also replacing the strut top, the mount. I got these from Rock Auto. These at Rock Auto were like $22 a piece, and they were like $55 or $60 at AutoZone, where the shocks were $40, right around $40 each at AutoZone. And that's why I picked SenSen. I didn't see a lot of reviews on them online, but I wanted to give them a try. I don't expect to get more than another 30,000 miles out of my Infiniti before I do something else with it. Has 170,000 miles on it now. So, get up to about 200,000 miles or so, maybe 220. But this side, I've undone the 4 bolts on top, and now I'm compressing the spring. And I found that compressing the spring while the strut's kind of still in place actually makes it a lot easier, because the strut's still kind of held in place. I've undone the bolt on the bottom down there, but it doesn't turn back and forth, so it's a lot easier to crank it down. Now, if you use this kind of strut compressor, one thing I highly recommend doing is just hitting it with some silicone spray before each time you go to use it. It sure makes it a lot easier to tighten down. It goes a lot more smoothly. So I probably have about another hour or so to replace this, simply because it takes forever to tighten these down. I really wish I had a proper spring compressor. These are a bit iffy. I've used them for years. I've used them since I was 16 years old in my very first car, when I replaced those struts myself. And I'm now in my mid-30s, so these things are older than just about everything else I own. One of the first actual tools I bought outside of a very basic socket set. So they've been around a while, and they've done this struts on, oh god, probably a dozen cars I've owned and I've done for family members. But yeah, so I just have to finish compressing this one. I'll leave it the spring compressed, put it on the new one, and go from there. So if you have any questions about the SenSen struts, how they feel compared to, well, obviously I'm replacing the old ones because I think there might be the original shocks. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they're definitely pretty old, and this one has leaked all of its oil out. It looks clean now just because I've washed it when doing some of the other work, and it's just gotten a little dusty since then. But this one's pretty much done. The other one probably could have put a few more thousand miles on it, but if you do one, you should do both, so I'm doing both of them. So again, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask below. Happy to answer any of those, and I'll be happy. And if you could, I do have my Amazon partner link in the description below. I appreciate any and all support through that, and thank you for watching.